Hello and welcome back to the first trilogy month of the year. And as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I am going to be covering the Toy Story franchise. Why? Well, because I think it's about time that I give my reasons as to why I don't like Toy Story 3, but you're going to have to wait until Friday for that one. So, yeah, last night I decided it's been nearly 3 years actually since I watched all the Toy Story films because back on an old vlog channel, the video's been taken down. I done this thing where I watched all four Toy Story films in one sitting, late one night. And I think I finished Toy Story 4 about maybe 1, 2 in the morning. I can't remember, but it's been a while since I've sat down and watched them, and yeah, so last night I booted up the Blu-ray of Toy Story because I do also have it on VHS, but it's a hassle to kind of move the TV because I have to take off Woody from there and kind of because there's a plug socket in that region here, and then so it's moving the TV a bit so I can reach down to grab it. Kind of becomes a pain in the ass. Now I could have easily just sat up here and watched it, but I kind of felt like watching it in bed, which is why I opted to go for the Blu-ray. So yeah, this is a childhood classic for me. One of my favorites. Mainly Toy Story 2 would be I would say would be the one I'm more familiar with. The one that I remember watching a hell of a lot more than Toy Story 1. But I still love it. I still love it, and even now after this rewatch, I still love it. Granted, it doesn't kind of hold like I get it. It's the first computer animated movie that was released, and it has been we're nearly approaching the 30-year mark since it came out. I had no idea exactly when it came out, but this year marks 30 years since the first one came out, and of course, I think next year or 2027 we're getting a fifth Toy Story film, which should have finished with Toy Story 4. Hell, technically it should have finished with Toy Story 3, but I still enjoy Toy Story 4, which I'm sure I'll get around to reviewing at some point. But yeah, it definitely hasn't aged the best. But again, I get it. It was the first one for its time, and one of the things that I love of the behind the scenes knowledge is the fact that Pixar was created by Steve Jobs in the time period of when Apple kicked him out as CEO. So he went and formed Pixar and funded that. I had it because I think he wanted to. He done something. I can't remember. It's late. I'm literally back from playing Yu-Gi-Oh on a Sunday. But yeah, I still loved it as the movie that it is. Like I said, the character models definitely don't hold up the best, especially if you pause it at certain angles. The humans don't look the greatest. Kind of Woody as well, but it's a film that about jealousy. Woody being Andy's favorite for years, and he kind of because of that he has a massive ego about him. And then as soon as Buzz shows up and becomes Andy's new favorite, he gets jealous and tries to him at some point by knocking him out the window, which he does do, but then he almost gets thrown out himself, and then the toys are, going against him and then, Woody ends up realizing the error of his ways, and Buzz realizes that he is a toy, not the actual Buzz Lightyear. And one thing that I definitely do love about this movie is the fact that, the villain for the next movie, being Al from Al's Toy Barn, gets name dropped in this film before it was even probably conceived to be a villain for the second movie. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But at the same time, I just remembered something as well from my childhood that I think I seen Disney on Ice years and years and years ago, and there was a Toy Story segment in it for I think it was Toy Story 2 that they done. That's just a memory that I have completely and utterly forgotten about, the Disney on Ice experience that happened early 2000s. I can't exactly remember when it was. I want to say maybe 2005, 2006. But I'd have to look into that. But I definitely remember going to the Disney on Ice, and I do remember the Toy Story bit, because the thing that's in my memory that's flashing is of Al from Al's Toy Barn, skating around, being all excited for finding Woody, and that's the only thing that I can remember from Disney on Ice, is that. But I remember loving it, it's only now that I've just remembered it. But yeah, I definitely would say that this, it's not my favorite of the trilogy, of the four films. I think I would put it, for me personally, like, I know it's a lot of people love Toy Story 3 because of the emotional ties and all that. But the two or three times that I've watched it, I just don't care for it. So that's why I'm gonna put like Toy Story 1 above Toy Story 3. Because Toy Story 2 is my all-time favorite out of the four films. Followed by Toy Story 4, and again, I know that's controversial. But I found some more enjoyment from Toy Story 4 than I did with Toy Story 3. And then, of course, I'm going to put Toy Story 1 and then Toy Story 3. Now, that could change with these rewatches, because that's the whole point of me, selecting this trilogy. Like I did with the Men in Black trilogy when I first done these videos, the trilogy month, is to give these movies that I didn't like on the first viewing another go for a review. And that's what happened with Men in Black 3. I didn't like it when I first watched it, and then when I rewatched it last year or the year before, when I first started Trilogy Month, I grew to appreciate it and preferred it over the second one. But yeah, let me know what you thought of Toy Story, the original Toy Story, down in the comments down below. And I'll catch you all on Wednesday for my review of my favorite of the Toy Story films, Toy Story 2. I'll catch you all next time.